Today we're going to be talking about triggers. So a lot of we need to really update our languaging around triggers. So I'm hearing people say things like "you trigger me, I trigger you," and that's not an accurate statement. The accurate statement is "I got triggered when you did this." So I think we're experiencing a big invitation to step up into radical self-responsibility, which is also connected to shifting out of victim consciousness into a consciousness that says I'm co-creating my experiences. And I'm seeing this being mirrored in my relationships, invitation for me to step up, take responsibility in my work, all areas. And so a lot of times people say you made me feel whenever, almost every session I do, we go back to a core trauma. And when I do the visualization part with my clients where they speak to the person who wronged them, a lot of times the words come out like, you made me feel. So things like you triggered me, you made me feel, we really like, those are red flag words for me. I don't feel safe hearing those words. And I was stuck in victim consciousness for like half my life. So no one can make you feel anything. Even the most extreme satanic ritual abuse, I heard a story of a lady who started laughing. She's like, I refuse to feed these demonic entities, so I chose to laugh. And they couldn't, the adrenaline didn't kick in, they didn't proceed with the torturing and the extraction of what those guys do. So no one can make you feel anything, and we got to take responsibility for our co-creations. It doesn't mean not calling people in, as shout outs to Michelle, she taught me that one. So instead of calling someone out, call them in. Take responsibility for our own stuff, and maybe like call people in, and be open for others to call you in, call you out, bring awareness to our blind spots, or when we're acting from victim, or we're acting from ego, right? So I think that's the only way we can evolve as humans, is taking ownership and full responsibility for our co-creations, being allowed to be called in, and calling other ins on the journey, because everyone's allowed to, as long as you're not intentionally trying to do harm to someone else, and if something comes up for them, it's not you made me feel this way, it's when you said these things I felt, and I'm taking full responsibility for what came up for me in that moment. I could be saying something to two people, one person will laugh their asses off, and the other person will have their deepest triggers, deepest traumas being triggered, right? So, and I'm that type of person for some reason. Look up Mayoka empaths. It's one of the highest level of empaths. I don't like the word higher, but like one of the most mirroring of empaths. Fire signs in general, we mirror more potently, we bring up stuff more potently. So the more of this work that you do, the more I feel you become someone who brings up stuff around those around you. So then it becomes like a smaller pool of people that you can be around. But the ones that you can choose to be around are the ones who are doing the inner work and taking ownership for their stuff, so that we can grow and evolve together. So I'm sharing this now because, especially during full moons, a lot of stuff comes up for us. I usually like to kind of pull back from being around a lot of people during the full moon. The other option is I set very strong intentions for me to have my light body activated and blessing all those around me. And then the other option is to just do it and stay grounded and, try. My rule of thumb is try not to make drastic decisions around the full moon or on the full moon, because technically it's bringing up all your stuff. Like you could be acting from emotion, acting from wounding, acting from triggering. And so like write it out, pull back, go to nature. And then after that, always try to get into the habit of practice. I practice radical transparency and vulnerability, meaning whenever something comes up, I do my best to share it right away in a nonviolent way, meaning, hey, when you said this, I felt ... That way you're not harboring any resentment, right? Because that's how we get divided and conquered, by harboring resentment and letting our ego kind of divide and conquer us. Yeah, sometimes the ego is like, for the dark forces, it's like their passive income. It's like it just works automatically. They don't even need to divide and conquer us anymore. We could divide and conquer ourselves. So transcend that. Remember, love above all, and try to see it all from the biggest perspective. Division is not true. Divide and conquer is not from God. Question the lies that the mind and the ego comes up with. Observe them, challenge them, share them. The best thing you could do is share them. I used to not share these, like my ego would share something like, don't trust your girlfriend. And I'd be like, oh, like I wouldn't respond to it. I would just really believe that. Like, okay, like the thought that she's cheating on me. This is like when I was 25, I was smoking weed, drinking, and I'd just have my mind be like, can't trust her. She's seeing someone else behind your back. And it's like, it's just one random thought from my mind trying to protect me. We have all these thoughts that happen, and the only difference now for me is people have these thoughts. We all have like our minds trying to protect us, and like, don't put yourself out there, you might get ridiculed, right? So it's trying to protect us, but it's also getting in the way, and it's holding us back, and it's based on past experiences, not on current experiences, right? It's based on past traumas projected into the moment. So it's really important that we observe them, distinguish between those thoughts and our deeper truths. And like it's not a one-way conversation. Like the mind says, don't do it, you're gonna fail. Like, okay, thanks for sharing mind. What I want to, and then respond to it. I reassure you it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be okay. So let me know if what you resonate with this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.